Good morning, all. I'm Epstein, and here we are with your morning flash update. And this update is for the morning of Thursday, the 3rd of October, 2024. We're about 8:15 a.m. Central Time. Before we go into the flashing board behind me, let's take a look at Challenger Gray. Their September U.S. employer planned job cuts were 72,822, about 3,000 less than we saw last month. Then we had the jobless claims. They came in up 6,000 at 225 for the week ending September 28th. We only expected up 2 at 220. And then they revised down last week's from 220 to 219. And then the continuing claims down 1,000. This isn't enough to move the needle one way or the other. Very, very stable in the jobless claims. And remember, a lot of this takes in people going on strike in Boeing and other things. And I wonder how much of this is Hurricane Helene, because all those people, and so many of them in many areas that just can't work. There's no way to get to work. There's no work to be done. There's no electricity to do with it. It's a matter of life and death right now. What about the voting in these areas, all right? Because it's only 30 some odd days away. I don't see how they're going to be able to vote. It's going to be very interesting. A lot of them do it by mail. You can't get mail there. S&P Global Group will release their U.S. final September service PMI. That's the final number, so will it be revised? But you get a fresh number of the ISM supply coming out with their service sector indices. That'll be this morning. Factory orders for August will come out at 9, and we get the EI natural gas storage. Now, as you know, we wake up and we don't see anything going on yet with Israel attacking Iran, and that keeps a bid in the market because the market doesn't know what's going to happen. The more we hear about it, you know that yesterday President Biden said he did not want Israel to attack the nuclear facilities. Well, from Israel's point of view, if they have the munitions, and that's the big question, do they have big enough bombs to get down and take out those facilities? If they don't, it doesn't matter. You know, there's no way to get to them. So then what happens is the gas. That becomes the first thing. And you want to go for refineries probably. You want to go for the actual motor gas, take that out, and make the people in Iran feel the pain but for what the regime is doing. And we'll see if that's the next thing. I don't know. You know, Israel's not going to go tit for tat. They're going to go bigger. Just expect that. They can't sit there and just each time, well, you fired 181 missiles at me, we'll fire 181 back at you. That game's over. All right? It's just a question of when these missiles now get through. They tried to overwhelm Israel's Iron Dome system, and some missiles got through that. So you can expect the retaliation is going to be very nasty. As we look at the gold and silver, I'm still hoping these markets give us a pullback because I want you to get long those markets, betting that inflation stays rather sticky. The Fed gets in a hard place where it can't really do too much right here. That's what I'm expecting to actually happen, that we either pause or only go for a 25 basis point cut in November. Dollar stable to slightly higher. The Swissy down a little bit again. Same with the euro. Now, the British pound came down as we're hearing the bank governor saying if the data stays like this, they can cut even further. That's what I've been looking for in the pound to see if it can come under that pressure. It's starting to hear about it. I don't see too much one way or the other in the soft commodities. And in the grain markets, wheat giving up a little of its stellar gains. There's no other way. The reason it exploded is Russia is saying drought is severely impacting the harvest and going to cut down the size of the harvest. And now we're also hearing that Australia is having harvest issues. Same thing, drought in both countries. If you take a look now at where we're at in the bonds, the notes, well, you can see that you're continuing on that pattern of slowly adding a tenth, so on and so forth, to the yields. So there's nothing here softening it up where all of a sudden we see a further drop. That'll probably mean mortgages also stay about where they're at. So an interesting time frame. Tomorrow's the big day with the U.S. jobs report. I've already put all the numbers in my written reports for my clients. They'll get that this morning. I want to remind you that one of the ways that you can keep up with us is getting our data. And there's so many ways. You can get trials to our SPDR ETFs as an example, the futures markets, my written commentaries. when you go to our page, Ira Epstein Offers, the page will look like this. And this is a shopping cart, basically. You click on the blue, and it'll select that offer. And when you get to the bottom of the page, you put in your email address, your name, and we get everything out to you, typically within 1 business day. So again, IraEpstein.com offers. You can move your cursor to the top here and get it the same way. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'll see you all at the end of the trading day. Have a great one.